This resource considers formatting cells. We consider how to adjust the size of a cell or column. We also learn how to change how data is displayed in a cell. We finish by considering how to fill cells with data that fits a pattern. Once we have text in our cell, we want to make sure it looks correct when we print. For example, suppose we are entering the names of the stars of the 2009 movie, The Hangover. We have Bradley Cooper, Ed Harris, Zach Galifianakis, Justin Bartha, and Heather Graham. But some of those names do not fit in the column. Only a portion of the name is visible. There are a couple of ways to alter the width of a column. We could click and drag the line to the right of the column title. Or we could click on the column heading, the letter name of the column. This highlights the whole column. Then, if we double-click on the line to the right of the column heading, we will adjust the column to the width of the longest amount of text in that column. Similarly, if we click on the empty square to the left of the heading for column A, this highlights the entire workbook. Now, if we double-click, all the columns are adjusted. We can also adjust the display for the text in the cells. For example, I use an Excel workbook to keep track of my checking account. I have a column for the date, for the description of the transaction, the amount of the transaction, and the account balance. Suppose I open an account on June 30th with a deposit of $500. To start, I will just rewrite the amount in the account balance. A later resource will explore how to set up functions and formulas to make this register more effective. To return to the matter at hand, I want to see the date displayed as month, day, year, the transactions as positive or negative numbers, and the money to be shown with 2 decimal places and a $sign. Other data formats exist for time, percentages, fractions, and other options. If we want to format the display of a cell, right-click on the cell, or the column heading to do it for the entire column. Click on Format Cells. Select the appropriate type of number you want to display: time, date, currency, etc. For this first column, we want to use date, and then select the display format you want to use, and click OK. We can do the same for the amount of the transaction. Format cells. This time we want to have currency with a negative number, and also for the balance column, currency with a negative number. One last thing we would want to do is to make sure that all of our columns are the proper width. So we highlight the entire workbook, double-click one of the lines, and now our columns are the appropriate width. Sometimes you will have information that looks very similar, or fits a pattern in an entire column or section. For example, suppose we want to create a list of numbers from 1 through 25 in column A. We could enter the text cell by cell, but that is very tedious. There is a much easier method: click and drag. When we click in cell A1, it gets outlined by a dark rectangle. In the bottom right corner of that outline, there is a darkened square. If we click on that square and then drag down, the contents of the cell will fill all the cells over which we dragged. But we want to fill column A with a pattern, the ascending numbers. To do so, we need to set up the pattern. So we start off with a 1 and then a 2. Now, we click in cell A1 and drag down, highlighting both cell 1 and cell 2. This tells Excel the exact pattern that we want to follow. Now if we click and drag the black square, now we have the correct pattern that we wanted to fill the column.